KUAM TVH, first on Guam. KUAM News Hotspot is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. All right, welcome everybody to the Hotspot. This is the show, and this is the day where we tell you everything about living a healthy island lifestyle, eating well, working out well, taking care of your mental, your physical, your spiritual, everything about that. That's why it's Health, Home, and Lifestyle Day every Tuesday. And we have great guests and great stories today because coming up in our Health Check Report, the Medical City will join us in studio as well as weekly renewal with our good friend Claire Calvo. Also, we continue the special bond between parent and child in My Mother's Child, the second episode that we know you really liked episode 1, episode 2 just as thrilling, so stay tuned for that, and House to Home. But first, let us get to our weekly Health Check Report. Here we go.
Health Check is presented to you by the Medical City.
All right, so we are dealing with matters of island health, Health Check is where we are talking about, and our friends at the Medical City are here now. We are talking about their services, very needed in our island community, as well as a very special promo they have for the summer months. Lauren Sabayan is the Vice President for Managed Care of the Medical City and joins me now on the KUM couch. Half a day, Lauren?
Hello. Thanks for having me here.
All right, thank you for extending like this, the services, and like Guam's got such a positive relationship now with the Medical City because we are aware and we depend on the fact that you guys take care of us and everything, and the fact that you guys actually have this wonderful promo now, making it even easier for us to get the care that we're after is such a wonderful thing.
Yes, that's right. Well, we still continue, and with the pronouncement of the World Health Organization that the global health emergency is now over, I think it's the best time to finally go out and take your health check. As your show says.
Okay, and what was interesting is I know when your company started making this executive checkup available to basically to anybody, but I know a lot of people thought, oh, it was a luxury item, or I'd like to get that, but I'm not at the executive level, I'm not old enough, I don't make enough money. That's not at all what this is about. This is, and any Guamanian can avail of this, and it's top-notch medical services.
That's correct. That's correct. So whether you have an insurance or you want to pay out of pocket, we can assist you so that you can have your annual health check. It's like a PMS for a car, so that you get to know what's happening in your body, and if there is anything that is happening, you can nip it on the bud. I think that's what's most important.
But you do get executive level service. I mean, they treat you like royalty when you go there, and I mean, this is a full body workup. So let's talk about what some of the like you said, you were using a car analogy. What are some of the diagnostics of the human system that that your physicians take a look at?
Well, basically everything. So when you go there, it depends on your insurance, whatever they cover, but it mostly contains most of the blood works or the laboratory procedures that you have to undergo, some imaging tests, your X-rays. And if you're due and your age is already 35 and above, you may have additional procedures. Like
me, I just turned 49, so I'm due for a colonoscopy. And guys, make sure you get your colonoscopy, all right? Very important for those of us 45 and older. But I've got, because of my age, I've got certain considerations that I now have to make, and you guys can absolutely accommodate me.
Yes. So what happens is from the island, if you're going to the Philippines, if you're making plans for your summer vacations and you're going to the Philippines anyway, what we can do is to help you and assist you through our Medical City Referral Office located at the RAN Care Building in Tamuning. So you can just go show up there, or you can also contact us at 988-8627 or send us an email at assist@themedicalcity.com. So what we're going to be doing is we work with you on your itinerary so that we make the most of your stay in the Philippines. We know that you have very limited time and you want to optimize your stay in the Philippines. So as much as we can, we put all your schedule in one day so you can have the rest of the days on whatever things you want to do in the metro or you're flying elsewhere in the Philippines.
So we can be a tourist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the wonderful thing about this program that I think is so good is we get to experience PI in all of its splendor, in all of its hospitality, you know, like the metro area, like basically like see the big city.
That's
and also
correct.
get all of our medical needs taken care of.
Yes, and I think what makes it even more convenient for you is because the medical city is located in 5 locations in the Philippines. So unknown to many, there are actually 4 other hospitals apart from the one in Metro Manila in Ortigas. We also have a lot of patients going to Iloilo. We have patients going to Clark, Pampanga, for a very, very good gastronomic experience, probably after executive checkup. We also have one in Pangasinan and Laguna. And each of these hospitals actually have promotion. Like at the Medical City Ortigas, for as low as $530, you can have your executive checkup, your hotel stay, and a tour of the metro, particularly the shopping malls around. In Iloilo, it's also the same rate, but instead of the tour around the province, or I mean around the malls, it's actually a tour around the province. What Iloilo has to offer. Clark provides discount for as much as 15% discounts to their services. We have another one. So for those who'd like to also have a check on their or on their aesthetics, we have a $580 promotion for executive checkup plus a choice of your dermatologic or aesthetic procedure.
Very nice. So skincare, you know, the estheticians, you know, you can make sure that, you know, if you have anything, you know, with your face, with your hair and everything like that, get that taken care of too. So for less than $600, either of those packages, and again, you said you want to make it, even though it's called executive checkup, because for people that, you know, for whom time is not in great abundance, I don't have to take a week off from work or use any of my leave. I could technically get this done over a weekend.
That's correct. That's correct. So we put
very flexible.
Yes, it's very flexible. So we work on your schedule. So all procedures are done in one day as much as possible. Most or max is 2 days. And if you have any procedures or incidental findings that you have to see a specialist, we'll also facilitate that for you, especially if you have any insurance. So what happens is it's typically or practically a breeze from here. We assist you from your booking of your executive checkup. We also assist you on your airline booking because it could be challenging, particularly it's summer. We pick you up from the airport, take you to your hotel or take you straight to the hospital, and then do your executive checkup. And the rest of the time, you will have to enjoy that.
So you don't have to be an executive to be treated like one. Everybody and our friends at Medical City going to take care of you, you know, from head to toe, and they're going to make sure you're well squared away. So this is the amazing thing I find too, Lawrence, because again, when this program first came out, I know a lot of people that did it, they said they were so unbelievably blown away. How old do I have to be to avail of this? And you know, with the referral office, like you said, you take care of everything from accommodation, so it's not like someone has to like run all over the place, or they'll be, you know, they have to get a car themselves and fly, you know, from city to city to city and spend one day just, you know, running papers back and forth. You guys square that all the way on your own.
So for the ages, we have packages from kids until your senescence, I guess, until you're old. So we have packages for kids, for teenagers, for adults, and for our geriatric patients as well.
Very nice. So whatever kind of patient you are and whatever shape you're in, our friends can certainly help you out. So real quick, where can people find you if they would like more information or contact the medical referral office directly?
Okay, so if they have to go to the Philippines, particularly for medical travel or for their executive checkup, they can just like go and visit us at our office that is in Rancare Building along South Marine Corps Drive. Or they can also contact us at 988-8627 or send us an email at assist@themedicalcity.com.
There you go. You are getting world-class physicians providing you world-class care. And you know what? You deserve it. And I deserve it. We all deserve it. So all you got to do, make that call and let our friends take care of you. All right. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. And now here is Claire Calvo with this week's installment of Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Clara Calvo bringing you your weekly renewal. In the last 19 years that Synergy Studios has been around, we have provided the island not only services and classes in fitness and health, detox and cleanse programs and the like, but also services, workshops, and retreats in holistic wellness. We have facilitated yoga and wellness retreats and workshops in Rota, in Saipan, in the Philippines at the San Benito Farm, and of course locally here in Guam, in Maleso, in Arahan, and Retidian Eco Beach Resort. We have offered the 21-day detox program since 2006, and more recently, a program that was more in line with Ayurveda, modeling after Panchakarma, which is a method of deep purging and cleansing the body. Ayurveda is a tried and true practice that was developed in India over 3,000 years ago. Although I am not an Ayurveda practitioner, someone who is and who had inspired me to delve even deeper years ago is Rita Cruz Zaturka. Just last year, Rita visited Guam to co-facilitate Soulcation up at Retidian Eco Beach Resort. Rita has been a certified yoga instructor since 1998 under the Iyengar discipline. And as I mentioned, she is an Ayurveda practitioner and has a wealth of knowledge and tools in this area. Ayurveda is considered the sister science to yoga, and so it is both auspicious and appropriate to merge the two together for a weekend retreat once again up at Retidian Eco Beach Resort on June 3rd through June 4th. Saturday to Sunday. This is Soulcation's 5th year up at Retidian, which I find to be such a magical, high-frequency spot on our island. This glamping style event offers a mini retreat staycation of yoga, vegan meals, Ayurveda discourse, music and ecstatic dance, and really just being one with nature, really in the elements within us and around us. Whether beach bed or tent, you have a full moon and a private beach front row view through the night and of course through the days, the entire weekend. Other sessions included but not limited to are breath work, meditation, guided visualization, and what I always find most special is the deep connecting with others, with nature, and ultimately with ourselves. So if you feel like treating yourself to a weekend of experiential mind-body wellness, gaining tools for self-care and self-love, we hope to see you there. And remember, to better care for our loved ones and share our energy with others, it's gotta come from the overflow of the love and care we have within. We start within ourselves and allow it all to spread forth from the overflow. If you are interested in signing up or you have questions about the event, please feel free to email me at clairecalvo@gmail.com, or you could message me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, Claire Baza Calvo. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time on your Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Please stay tuned. We have a special segment for the week leading up to Mother's Day when we come back on the Hotspot.
I'm coming back on top and I'm flipping the switch. I tell the voltage up, raise the hair on your neck. 'Cause I was dying from the start. We're powered up. Shut it, baby, all night. We're powered up.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you wanna talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay? This message is brought to you by the KUAM Care Force and the Ashlam Foundation. Learn more at www.ashlam.com.
New cheesesteak from Pizza Hut. Look at all that stirring on the steak. It's seasoned, it's grilled, it's vibing with those peppers and onions. New cheesesteak from Pizza Hut. Steak night, every night.
We're celebrating this special bond between a parent and child and the wonderful women in our lives this May with My Mother's Child, a special series on KUAM News Hotspot and KUAM Weekend Edition. Beginning May 8th, we'll feature different notable moms in our island community in unique interviews with their equally notable children. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at KUAM News for a special digital bonus feature showcasing the lighter side of their mother and child relationship. My Mother's Child is brought to you by Crown Plaza Resort Guam. Book your reservations today. Call 671-646-5880.
Watch KUAM TV 8 live on Peacock. Check out our live channel NBC shows, live sports original programming, movies, plus so much more. Visit peacocktv.com/local or download the app and subscribe today.
Well, you just saw at My Mother's Child is a very special series that we are running all week leading up to Mother's Day, featuring notable moms in our community and their equally extra special kids. And tonight we have longtime Guam Police Department, I should say, Captain Kim Santos and her daughters Darren Stinnett and Devin Martinez. My Mother's Child is brought to you by Crown Plaza Resort Guam. Book your reservations today. Call 671-646-5880.
Remember when you guys came back? I think you came back for vacation from California, and we decided to take the old VHS tapes out. Yes, I still have a VHS player, and
we wanted to just, talk about how it was growing up and maybe ask you some questions. I guess now that we're parents, like you said, what are some advice you have for us now that we're parents?
Advice as parents. Well, off the top of my head, there's no one right way to parent, right? Mm-hmm. No one right way to parent. What I did as a single mom, and I was blessed to come from a good family, as you both know, right? Good. I grew up with a core set of values, and that helped me. That helped me to be, I think, a good parent, because I believe I was a good parent, because I dedicated all of my spare time really toward taking care of you guys and making sure that you grew up to be contributing members of the community. I think some of the things, first and foremost, for you as parents, the best advice I'd give you is to make sure that your children know and love God, first and foremost. Because with God in your life, with Christ in your life, all things fall into place. Also, make sure you don't spoil the kids, because
that's your job.
That's my job now. But if you spoil the kids, you make them weak. I believe that. And I didn't spoil any of you. It was more about helping you to learn coping skills. And those are taught early on. I want to say actually from infancy through to adulthood. All those life lessons. I never pampered you. I made sure you learned well. You all learned to read before you started school. I read to you as much as I could. My job, I have a busy job, and you know that, right? But any spare moments I had, I made sure went toward building you guys to be the best you could be. So I talked about putting God first. That's really, really important, especially in this day and age. Not spoiling the kids. I think health is wealth. Got to make sure the kids eat well, and they're not eating junk, and they're not putting a lot of processed foods into their bodies. Remember, your blood is your lifeline, right? Health is wealth, and also I think discipline is really important. Discipline your kids, because you're not supposed to be their friend, right? You first and foremost, you are to be the parent. You're the parent, and in doing that, you're going to make for children that are going to grow up much more sound. They're going to be able to make better decisions, life decisions, right? Mm-hmm. And the kids are going to be put into different positions. And always remember, when the drum beat changes, so does the dance. And what do I mean by that? You adjust to situations. As situations occur, you just got to make those adjustments. So these are things. So, and there are so many books out there. There are so many commentaries. There are so many podcasts about parenting. What you have to do is, with those core values you have in place, and I would suggest you have at least 5 core values: hard work, self-discipline, honor and integrity, things like that, right? You're gonna have to decide what those are gonna be, and that will help you also decide what you're going to, because I read a lot as a young mom, and I really loved Focus on the Family. I loved Dr. James Dobson, so I would read his books, and I've read others, and I would just take bits and pieces and I applied them to how I raised you.
2 things I definitely remember from growing up, you would always tell us, make good choices and put God first. And undoubtedly those 2 things go hand in hand, and I know that's something I try to pass on to my girls.
Yes. Well, we were definitely disciplined.
Yes.
So that's also something I try to carry on to my kids, but it's really good advice, Mom.
Yes.
Yeah, I policed at work and I policed at home. It's easy.
And now, what's the biggest difference between being a mom and a grandmother?
I think the difference is the responsibility of parenting and correcting the kids and all that other stuff lies with you. With me, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm older, wiser, and I don't know, there's just this pure, untainted love that I have for my guys. I love them all. I mean, everyone from Sophie Cohen, I've got Sophie Cohen, Willie, Mia, Tori, Duke, and now Callum. Yeah. So I have 7 grandchildren, and I love them unconditionally. But the real difference is, and that saying, it takes a village to raise a child, is so true. I do discipline them, by the way, when they're with me. Can't, tap a hand if they're touching something they shouldn't. That would probably save their lives. But it's all about just showing them all the love. I just love them. I just want to keep loving on them.
Yep.
I loved you guys too, by the way. And I always that. And not a day went by that I didn't tell you guys that I loved you. Yep. It's even phone calls, and it's funny because the guys at work, the guys at work, they're like, Cap, we noticed that your kids always say they love you. And I said, yeah, it was a thing, because we never know. And in my career, you just, you don't take things for granted, and you just never know when is the last time you're gonna be speaking to that person. It doesn't matter what job you're in. That's just life, right?
It's definitely true, because I'll be ordering pizza and hang up and say, love you. They're like, what? I don't even know you.
But I definitely see bits of you in Darren, and I hear bits of you when I speak to my own kids. So, just know that we've taken those good things that you tried so hard to impress upon us, and we've applied it to our own lives. And even when we're not around each other, when I was living overseas, I would always do the same things with my kids. We would watch movies and just hang out, spend all our time together. So we've taken all those good things that you've given us, and we've turned it into even more love in our own families.
Yeah.
I was going to share, do you remember when you guys came back? I think you came back for vacation from California, and we decided to take the old VHS tapes out. Yes, I still have a VHS player and VHS tapes. It was a thing for me to capture memories, right? Capture moments through video and through photography. But we were playing the old videos where you kids were playing at home, Christmas and stuff, and I remember Vic, your husband, looked at you and he said, Devin, you had a good childhood. And those are moments like hearing him say that and recognizing it through the videos, right? He saw the love, he saw that, you know, we cared for each other. And then he said, "You never shared with me." And I thought, Devin, you didn't share all those wonderful childhood memories with your husband?
Well, you know, I remember growing up, you were busy, especially with your job, being a policewoman. You were called to many things that required you to be away from us, but at the same time, and I think you can agree, we didn't really feel that separation.
Absence,
I mean,
yeah.
so I guess I just want to know how you were able to do that and manage and just make us not feel that absence.
I think if there's anything I can teach you both is where there's a will, there's a way. And I loved and cared for you guys so much that if I was at work, and I can remember going to working and also going to school, and she played basketball for St. Paul's, right? And I'd be at a scene, I'd be like, hey, you know, whoever was in charge, I just need to run and go to my daughter's bed. And even if you just saw me and I'm on the sidelines, you know, I'm here, you know, making those calls, driving up to check, and, you know, if you were being watched by someone, I did those impromptu visits just to make sure everything was in place. And you know, you were young at academy. I had you going to academy, and you worked part-time, and I felt so bad because those were hard times. Police officers didn't make very good money, but I managed to stretch it.
What do you always tell us? Hard times build character.
They do, and you know, it was a thing. It was a thing for me to, you know, you both. I didn't just tell you what to do. I lived what I wanted you to do. I built a house for you. I sent you all to private schools, and so that comes at a sacrifice, right? And so that's the best thing about being a mom. You make the sacrifices because it's the kids' turn.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Happy Mother's Day.
Love you guys.
My Mother's Child is brought to you by Crown Plaza Resort Guam. Book your reservations today. Call 671-646-5880. We also want to send a special thank you in Sizus Masi to our friends at the Crown Plaza Resort for honoring Captain Kim with a very, very special Mother's Day gift.
Just wanted to wish you a very, very happy Mother's Day from all of us at Crown Plaza Resort Guam.
Oh, thank you so much. Beautiful hotel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. My first time since I guess
reopening.
Yes,
Great.
since the reopening.
Welcome.
That's very nice.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And you want to make sure to check out our Instagram feed. We are at KUAM News for a special bonus episode of the very beautiful and very unique relationship between Captain Kim, Darren, and Devin. All right, stay tuned because House to Home is coming up next.
I'm coming back on top and I'm flipping the switch. I tell the voltage up, raise the hair on your neck. 'Cause I was dying from the start. We're powered up. We're powered up.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
This message is brought to you by the KUAM Care Force and the Ashlam Foundation. Learn more at www.ashlam.com.
New cheesesteak from Pizza Hut. Look at all that stirred on the steak. It's seasoned, it's grilled, it's vibing with those peppers and onions. New cheesesteak from Pizza Hut. Steak night every night.
We're celebrating this special bond between a parent and child and the wonderful women in our lives this May with My Mother's Child, a special series on KUAM News HotSpot and KUAM Weekend Edition. Beginning May 8th, we'll feature different notable moms in our island community in unique interviews with their equally notable children. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at KUAM News for a special digital bonus feature showcasing the lighter side of their mother and child relationship. My Mother's Child is brought to you by Crown Plaza Resort Guam. Book your reservations today. Call 671-646-5880.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to House to Home. I'm Jason Salas. There is Liz Duenas and there is Gina Campos in their office downtown, and I'm up here in Harmon. But because of the magic of video conferencing, we are all going to join together and talk to you about a variety of things, and including, well, technically, we're just talking about one thing of which there are a variety, and that is different types of mortgage products. Because Gina, why don't you set us off? Because I know last week we had a really, really cool guest, Michael Rudolph from Norcom Mortgage, and he was saying that, you know, you have to get pre-qualified, but there are many different types of mortgage products underneath that umbrella, and it's important to know which you need, right?
Yeah. You know, so we promote the idea that before you go shopping, you have an idea of what you can spend, and perhaps even more important, what you want to spend. And that usually boils down to many of my customers are sensitive about the monthly mortgage payment. So even if they qualify for $600,000, they always say, what if I just want to spend this much? Well, okay, then we need, number one, all the products will qualify you based on what you want to spend every month. That's true. But when it comes to mortgages, there are different types of mortgages available. It's not just one kind. There are different kinds. Like there are many types of customers and buyers out there that are looking for homes. There is at least a handful of mortgages that you can select from. So we like to ask the important question of how much of a down payment, if any, do you have saved up to go towards the loan? And I also say, you know, even if you have a down payment saved up, if you've never bought a home before, there are loan products that you can apply, that you can borrow up to 100% of the cost of the home. And so if you haven't used one of these products and you do qualify for them, I say use it now, because you won't be able to use it once you buy a home. The next time you go out there for a mortgage, you won't be able to use it. So my pitch is, even if you have a down payment, you might want to entertain the idea of checking to see if you qualify for a VA loan or an RD loan. And those two products are 100% of the cost of the home. But on the VA loan, you must have been in the military. And on an RD loan, the prerequisite for that is you cannot have owned a home within the last 2 years. It could have been 2 years ago, but within the last 2 years, you cannot have owned a home.
So that's a fixed window of the last 24 months of your life. You cannot have home ownership, and then you could in fact qualify for this. Liz, are you seeing a lot of people aware of this and actually saying, I would like to avail of a certain type of mortgage product, or do people just often kind of fly blind?
I don't think people are aware of the different loan types. As Gina mentioned, there are different ones. They go to the bank and they pretty much try to get their guidance from either the realtor to help them go to a particular bank, or they get their guidance from their loan officer. But it's good to research to see what is available and what the down payments are, what the interest rates are. So recently we've been promoting, because the interest rates have increased quite a bit to 6%, and sometimes even more. We've been kind of promoting that they look at adjustable rates. So there are fixed rate mortgages with the interest rates of 6% and higher. The adjustable rates are lower. There VA loan, there's rural development loan that Gina was talking about that guarantees up to 100%. Now, the problem is when people hear it's 100% type loan, they seem to have the impression that it's 100%. Even with VA, sometimes we get people to think it's 100% guaranteed by VA. So they come thinking, oh, I can get a loan. I don't have to put anything down. but there's still fees associated with the loans. So even though it's 100%, I always tell them, did you talk to the loan officer to find out how much is required out of pocket? Because you, in any of these loans, you have your closing fees. Their fees is a percentage of 1% or 2% or even less than that, depending on your credit score. And then you have your escrow fees, you have your recording fees. So there's a number of fees that, you know, they have to be aware of and how much monies are required out of pocket.
And that is not included in what Gina typically said, where 100% of the cost of the house itself is covered in everything, but these additional fees are separate of that.
Yeah, and bear in mind as
And
well.
this bites
that
a lot of people in the butt, right? Because they don't take that into consideration.
And bear in mind your credit score. What does your credit score have to do with the loan? Your credit score will dictate which loan you can avail yourself to. If you have a high credit score, it's an advantage to try to get a better interest. If your credit score is low, for example, Guam Housing does have a federal loan that's available. If all these banks turn you down because of credit issues or your loan score is very low, you could try to avail yourself with a federal type loan associated with the Guam Housing. Again, there's still requirements that go along with it and out-of-pocket expenses. If you're buying, it could be complicated, but if you get a good realtor to help you go through the process and give you some pointers on which direction to go. And that's what Gina and I try to do.
Listen to your Tomorrow Music favorites and the music that just feels like home on Isla Tomorrow Music Radio. Streaming anytime on any device on KUAM.com or the KUAM News mobile app.
We're out of time. See you tomorrow.